Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson. I am channeling the man in the moon today. I'm here with Rehe, and he is going to ask me some questions because I'm specifically going to channel aliens today, and I need someone to ask me the questions. Welcome, Rehe. Thanks for being on my show.
Thank you.
Great. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Now, always so interesting the images that I get. It's like there's a road of light. And at the end of it, it's like literally there are um, ships at the end of the road. They're in the air above. So I'm getting the word Beetlejuice. So, and by that I mean not the movie, but the far off star. I feel like I'm traveling there. It's almost like I'm looking through a telescope, and then I go inside a telescope. Hmm. Okay. It's a long table, so it feels like a council. I'm just focusing on one of them has is acting as the ambassador and is speaking to me. It's like I sit down at a table and the person sitting directly across from me, and I say person, I mean alien. And he's kind of joking with me, like, if you could see my real face, you'd kind of be terrified and freaked out. Okay. It's like think Medusa. That's what you would be looking at, which is why I don't show you what I would look like to others. Jervis is the name that he gives me, and I'm gonna say, okay, Jervis, go ahead and speak through me. Hello, Ray. We are ready for your questions. We will just say as an aside, Dave really isn't going to remember much of this one. He's gone a little bit further. Do proceed with any questions you have.
Thank you, Jervis. Thank you for your connection. Um, do you have an initial message from the collective that you wish to share?
The initial message would be that these are indeed challenging times. We know you've heard this many times before, but it is a particular moment in history where your history, shall we say, time is quite different for us, where things are really stretching. And when we say stretching, we mean that they are going to change. They are sort of flattening out in a way so that you can see things a little bit more as they really are before they snap back together. In your words, it might be something like a shift in consciousness, or in political terms, there are other words that you would use where one predominant set of ideas rather takes over from another, like a Renaissance era. Again, there are many words for this, but this is where you are, and this is why you're seeking answers outside your planet, because too many things are changing. You cannot necessarily know what's going to happen next, and this is making everybody nervous. You're also very aware of a fight between shadow and light that, well, let us say, appears to be going on. It's a bit more complicated than that. But being aware of this, you are afraid that the shadowy forces will win. We are here to let you know shadow will not win. It is always there, and it is always striking a new kind of balance. There were eras of shadow where the shadow at least appeared to be in predominance. However, it is never fully in control, nor will it ever be fully in control, because the source is the light. And that is our preliminary message. The light is on your side, and it will prevail. The road may appear rocky, but it is actually more as it should be than you could believe. These changes are causing emotional shifts in you and causing good deal of thought on your part, and that is the way that it should be. acknowledge that these emotional shifts are taking place and these new thought patterns are taking place. It is perhaps seemingly beyond your control, but it is not outside the control of the universe and the understanding. It is, again, as it should be. Attend to yourselves and trust things will be all well.
Thank you. Could you say more, please, to help and assist us with this shift, particularly around how our consciousness may evolve over the next few months or even the next few years, and what we can do to ground ourselves and retain any sense of balance as much as possible?
Avoid fighting. It is a complete waste of time. Trying to convince someone that cannot be convinced is merely a waste of time. If you speak frankly and say your opinion frankly, do not bother with the reaction of the other person. The truth is the truth, and they will discover it. If they are arguing against that truth, then it is just a question of time before they eventually discovered it. That is, if they are arguing from a particular point of view, it is because they are afraid. They don't necessarily believe what they're saying. They're trying to create a justification. Don't spend your time there. Part of what needs to happen is trust. It needs to be that you all believe that it's going to be okay and that this is part of the, let us say, rebirthing of the planet. If you can accept that these travails are just the process and respect that you are put here at this time to learn these things, it will be very helpful. Don't take them personally. They will perhaps make you angry, and that is okay. It is just important to recognize the feelings that are coming up and addressing those feelings. This is essential. It's part of the process. If it were rather slow and boring, you wouldn't have strong feelings and you wouldn't be growing nearly as much as you are growing now. If you can accept that this is growth, that the things that are going on around you are not punishments, they are not a wayward universe, they are not discordant. They are actually there to represent themselves so that you would have a certain emotion which you recognize and accept and love. That will help you a great deal. The rockiness, the battle, if you will, the ups and downs are really taking place because you are not able to accept what's going on, or you feel alone. It is also very helpful to go beyond the aloneness, connect with others however you can who share the same points of view, because as they say, no one is an island. And it might be very, very lonely for you to live among those who are not acknowledging the reality that's going on around you. If you can contain yourself and understand that this is a particular time you are supposed to be here for, you will be much assisted in your endeavors. Also understand we are not without sympathy. We know that these times are very difficult and we are doing our best to send our love and support. You can always tune in with us. It is helpful to meditate, but it is also just helpful to say, Spirit, I need your love right now. And if you're able to do that, it will come.
Thank you so much for those wise words. There seems to be a great deal of shift happening, not just with people, but on the planet. And I wonder, could you share any wisdom or clarity? For example, why are there so many water events happening on the Earth?
Well, we're going to make a joke here, although we want you to understand that the loss of life is not a joke to us. But to make this clear, it is a little bit like your mother who says, you must stop playing, it is time to take a bath. You have to immerse yourself in water to understand the nature of experience. It is not all about running here and there and doing this and that. Part of it is about stopping and slowing down and taking care of the home. The humans on the planet have failed to take care of the home. They are as poor managers who have not called the plumber in a long time, even though the sink is dripping, who have not put in the fire alarm, who have not done the work to protect the planet that they live on. This is to some degree separate from us and our powers. We cannot make humans take care of the place where they live. We cannot make them clean up their mess. They must learn to do this on their own, and part of the process is the earth saying, we have had enough. You cannot survive if you continue in this direction. It can't only be about your egos and getting more things and having more exciting moments. That is not a realistic life plan. The truth is that all young people have to go to school. They have to learn. They might learn different things, but they have to spend some time in relationship to others. And that is the principal problem. Your societies have moved away from taking care of each other, and it is everyone for themselves. Well, if we are to look at it from the Earth's perspective, this is a great danger, and it must be cleaned up. So it is sad to say that these tragic events have come about, but they will continue to come about. They will get worse until there is acknowledgement from a majority of people on the planet that you must take care of your Earth. And that is going to really shift you forward. There are certain weights in your society that are keeping it down, keeping it repressed, wanting it to be the same as the exploitative process that it was perhaps 100 years ago, or 200 years ago, or 300 years ago. It has come to be the time where things must change, where humans must stop, let us say, partying and living for the next moment, but think of themselves in relationship to the planet, the animals that live here, and to the other humans, even the most unfortunate humans. It is a reflection on everybody that some don't have homes. That homeless person is part of you. They are your energy and you are their energy. You cannot neglect a part of yourself and let it go. What happens if you do that? Then you will have medical problems. Perhaps you will have problems that will lead to your death. And that is the warning that is being sent out. It is just a question of how long, how many times was this message go out before human beings respond. We do wish to say that it has not yet been strong enough. There aren't now huge policy shifts in their various leadership bodies of the countries. It's still not bad enough. The question is, how bad will it get? And we fear that the next few months will be severe.
Yes, there is an understanding that things are shifting and that we need to learn from them. Could you say any more on the mutual relationship between the earth and humans and nature? It seems in many instances we've lost or forgotten that mutual connection. Is that something we should be focusing on to bring it and restore balance?
Yes, absolutely. Imagine every day your feet are on the earth, but you do not notice the earth. You do not get up in the morning and say, good morning to the earth. You do not tread the earth and say, well, thank you so much for your bounty, thank you for your beauty, etc. You have sort of forgotten it. Imagine people 1,000 years ago, they would not be in such a state. They would not be able to completely forget the earth. They would have depended on the earth for its bounty. And without the bounty, they would make extra efforts to connect again through mystics or shamans. They would find the earth extremely connected and important. There was a very symbiotic relationship between, for example, the seasons and how people's activities changed, the celebrations that occurred. There was a symbiotic relationship with the earth. At some point, it was everything for humans. But now you can get up in the morning and you can be completely distracted. You can get in your car, you can listen to the radio in the car, you can get to work and spend all day watching humans doing extraordinary things and completely forget that you live on a planet. We would suggest to your viewers, think for a moment. How many times in the last week have you been completely aware that you live on a planet and said to yourself, wow, I live on a planet and it brings me these things and I can go to different places and see different things. Isn't it wonderful? Certainly there are a few of you, and certainly you have spent a few moments doing that, and we are not here to criticize. We are just saying that the technologies of your society have brought you so far away from what is organic. There's nothing wrong with these devices, but they have brought you so far away from what is organic that you have been sort of mesmerized. It's like you are in a trance and you don't remember the human nature. It is like you are sort of sleepwalking through life. This is the shadow we speak of. In some sense, it is a temptation that exists. And we will just give Dave as an example. Every day he battles the temptation to watch video after video after video. And some days when he doesn't necessarily want to do the work that's assigned to him, he doesn't care for the bureaucracy, he can get completely lost and he will justify himself. You say, oh, just one more, I need to know this for my work and this is important, or just one more video and 3 hours will pass and no work has been done. He is, for example, a little bit better, but he is by no means perfect. He can barely stop himself from watching these videos. Think of the power that this technology has over each of you. It is absolutely in control of your lives. It is important to break that connection, to put the phone down, to go out at least once a day and be in the earth and experiencing that kind of joy. The transfixed nature, the focus on all these technology events has given them more importance than they really deserve. These events sometimes are not even real. You're just focused on them as a sort of obsession, and it is like a desire to keep worrying and frothing, and it is killing you. This is really the shadow forces at play. And again, we don't wish to say that all technology is negative. We would not be having this experience with you. There's a beautiful silver lining. But we wish to make you aware that you have autonomy. You can change the things around you. You can say no to some of the temptations. It is important to notice that in fairly recent times, people have had to, let's say the average person has had to exert self-control. That is, you have any food you would like available, and it is possible for you to eat chocolate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You must in your life say no to some of this, but it is a Herculean task. If this food is always available, it's going to be your natural instinct to grab for it. The question of your time to some degree is being in good relationship with yourself so that you do not use these things as a crutch, so that you are a bit more aware and just eat chocolate occasionally. We are wondering if we've diverted from your question.
No, not at all. I think to expand on that, yes, we can be glued to our screens and drawn into a smaller vision of the beautiful world upon which we dwell. One of the things is that for many centuries, we're guided by the stars and we're able to navigate our way and to find new places. We're now looking further afield, and there are many who seek or want to know if and when there is going to be any kind of public contact with aliens. Is this something we should be placing emphasis on?
We are observing the world now, and the world which you live in, we should say, and we are relatively tentative about visiting it. There are Many people who would take advantage. Should we land and share the information that we have, it would cause a great deal of stress in your society. It would shift it, but it would be a less voluntary shift than the one that's occurring now. So we can say that it is likely there will be direct contact, but it will not be immediate. There will be some time given for humans to work out some of their issues on their own. It is a little bit like an 18-year-old. It is time to go to college now, and you can call us up if you've got some problems, but we're not going to arrange the relationship that you have with your landlord. That is up to you. You are adults now, and it is time for you to behave in an adult fashion. We would not want to rush in and fix the problem, because humans would not have the benefit of organizing it themselves, and you are perfectly capable of organizing it yourself. It is not going to be simple, just as being 18 is not simple. But you can do it. It is a question of us rather withholding and preventing ourselves from being a helicopter parent, if you will, and allowing you to grow in your own trajectory. We are sort of waiting. We are contacting in ways like this, and we have contacted many individuals on the planet in a rather secret fashion. There are governments who are very well aware that we exist. There is plenty of information in these governments so that they know that UFOs, as you call them, really do exist. But we would say that we are presently considering 10 or 12 years before actually physically contacting the human race, and it is not certain at all that this will occur. We wish to emphasize this is not a punishment or a scolding. We are just being very honest here. It is important for humans to evolve without interference. And should we arrive now, there would be a great deal of interference. It would rather set you back 150 years in your own consciousness development. The fact that we do not visit is, in fact, very much good for the human race. It is allowing you to grow.
Jervis, thank you so much to you and your council for the wisdom that you have shared and for being present. Do you have one more final message you'd like to bring?
There are many negative things that you can look at, especially if you are fixated on that technology. If you find yourself fixating on these negative things, stop yourself and turn to love. Turn to a kindness that you can do for another person, or turn to a kind person, or turn to the earth. Turn to love. Turn to the things that make you feel better. One thing that humans have discovered is they can change their moods. And when they change their moods, almost anything can happen. It is up to the humans to do this. It is up to them to choose this. That is, it must be chosen. Being human is not to be passive, but to engage. This does not mean that everything that happens is somehow your fault. It means that it is important to engage realistically and faithfully. And also, as we have said, change the channel, turn to love. If you must stick to technology, find something within the technology sphere that is more pleasant, that uplifts, that makes you feel like you can do it. Of course, there are many other ways to be in relationship with the earth, but the main thing is to catch yourself when you're going down a certain road and say, I choose not to do that. It is not a bad idea to verbalize this and say, I choose not that road. I am going to choose this road. Say this to yourself in the morning when you wake up, before you go online or before you enter the workplace, and you will see a shift.
Thank you for that message, and thank you so much for your connection through Dave. We appreciate your wise counsel.
It is our absolute pleasure. Please keep in mind, we are always there to support you. Call us and we will be there. You may not see us with your eyes, but you can feel us in your heart. And with that, we will say goodbye for now. Okay. Wow. Oh, Ray, I know all I can remember is me saying that I won't remember. So I'll be looking forward to looking at this video myself. Thanks so
Yes,
much.
yeah. Yeah, no, no, it was good. It was really interesting. Yeah, very
Good.
interesting. Be interesting to see what your feedback is,
Hmm.
from the video once you've watched it.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thanks so much for your questions. I don't know what they were, but I know they were good, and
Okay.
I really appreciate your help. Thanks
No,
and
happy to. Yeah,
great.
happy to.
Thanks everybody for watching.